Greetings, sirs and madams. I'm Straffic0, and today we're looking at Monster Hunter Wilds. So the game's been out for a while. We've had 2 title updates, and I think it's about time we actually just do a review of the Lance. So yeah, I'm a Lance main. I've been around for a long time. I think I've been playing since Monster Hunter 3. Went back to Freedom Unite. I think I have at least 15 to 17,000 hours with Lance now across all the games. So yeah, I just wanted to just talk about this weapon. It's gotten some massive changes in Monster Hunter Wilds compared to the previous generations. So yeah, I just wanted to lay out some of my thoughts about it. I believe next month the weapon is actually going to get patched. Unfortunately, they couldn't get all the changes done in time for Title Update 2, so yeah, they're going to patch us next month. So I'm just going to give some thoughts about the weapon and just discuss some areas of improvement that they can do. And yeah, hopefully this video will get out there and get some ideas for that patch next month, but they're probably already done. They're just waiting for that release window. But yeah, we'll just talk about some overall thoughts about the weapon. So yeah, I still love the weapon. It's really great. They have a lot of really great ideas here. Some of the best stuff is that beforehand the weapon would just have a 3-hit combo. You'd have to cancel it with like a dash or a guard or like a guard dash, anything like that. But yeah, they kind of did away with that. Like, is there any reason why the Lance needs to stop its combo at 3? And like, you still have the 3-hit combo, but now we have combo finishers, which are great. That's a great idea. You can just keep attacking. Yeah, so that's very nice. Yeah, it feels like a very natural evolution for the weapon. Beforehand, like the 3-hit combo, it was a little contrived and video gamey, so I think having combo finishers and being able to loop right back into the combo makes a lot of sense. This is a very good idea. Feels very natural. Now, something that was a little controversial at first, we didn't always have the counter, the guard counter in the game. It was gone like in the demo for Monster Hunter Wilds, and they added it back with the same command, like guard and circle. Beforehand, it just used to be a combo finisher, and that made it really limited and difficult to access. But now that we just can activate it whenever, I think the charge counter is one of my favorite new mechanics for Wilds Lance. It's actually quite rewarding that. Sorry, I don't fight this this thing very much, but yeah, it's actually very rewarding to be able to use this. Yeah, the perfect charge counter is great. Lance previously didn't have a lot of timing needs because it was just very fast and responsive before. Like there wasn't really a lot of anticipation before, so yeah, having this mechanic is very nice. Yeah, it gets you decent damage. The best thing about it is it rewards timing. It lets you basically just it just doesn't have chip damage, and it actually behaves a little funny like as a guard. But and yeah, it has fairly long invincibility frames. I just wish it had more utility against multi-hit attacks, but yeah, perfect charge counter has made Lance very fun. Like in this game, it's pretty useful. There are a lot of monsters that have moves that kind of make it not useful, like a lot of Zoshia. They'll just monsters with attacks that just have follow-up explosions afterwards. There's just not much Lance can do about those, so that's kind of a problem. But yeah, perfect charge counter has been really great. And now that we can do charge counter anytime with R2 and circle, I think there's actually not a need to have charge counter as a combo finisher anymore. So yeah, that's just kind of a wasted button. I feel like you can replace that with just something else that has more utility. Just another attack, maybe something that can close distance or something like that. So I think it's time to kind of take it away, like, out of the finisher, since we can do it anywhere else, like in the combo. Like, we didn't even activate it in the same place, like manually. Okay, and here's something I have a problem with. The guard dash and leaping thrust is very, very stiff. Yeah, beforehand I would use guard dash and leaping thrust to close distance a lot, but now leaping thrust is very stiff and unresponsive. It actually makes it a little unsafe to do. Yeah, so I find that, like, after leaping thrust, you might just want to do a dash cancel instead, because if you can't really cancel into guard dash again, just do a regular dash. Yeah, leaping thrust into guard dash is very stiff. It doesn't work very great, like, anymore. So yeah, I would like them to reduce the stiffness on this. It's kind of like that for no reason. So, yeah, I think they might have done this because the leaping thrust loop was very, very strong in Sunbreak. So I think Capcom may have intentionally nerfed this just to keep people from abusing this. But I mean, it's fine. Just let people do what they want to do. Just unnerf guard dash and leaping thrust, please. Here's something that really bothers me. So yeah, after guard, like, you have different guard reactions you can do. Yeah, so we have, like, the regular thrust. It does get boosted from the guard. And then the new move is payback thrust, and I really despise payback thrust. It just doesn't really work well. Like, the animation is slow. It does not do a lot of damage for how slow it is. The recovery is long. Some people will say that it's okay for closing distance, but it's not even very good at that. Primarily the reason why you would want to use payback thrust is you get immediate access to a combo finisher, which that's really cool. But I feel like payback thrust, it can just be replaced with something else that's more useful, or maybe you just need to buff it a lot to make it more effective. Yeah, I would just replace it with something else. Personally, I would like to replace it with follow-up charge, because that was a guard reaction that we had available in the demo. It was very useful, because a lot of times you want to be able to block an attack and then close distance. But we don't have that, like, anymore. So yeah, being able to, like, dash right out of a block would be very, very handy. But yeah, there's currently no guard reaction inputs that will let you do that. One other thing you can do to make payback thrust useful, if you want to keep it, is maybe if you can get it to connect, you can add a property where if it connects, it recovers sharpness. And that would actually give us a reason to use it. So yeah, those are kind of my ideas about payback thrust. And related to payback thrust, one of the most effective guards Lance has is perfect charge counter. You do that with R2 and circle. But sometimes you can't activate that button input properly because you have your guard reactions. So you want to do R2 and circle. What you get instead is payback thrust. And the timing of that is so slow, it's gonna get you hit when it's kind of like an accidental input. So a lot of times, a monster will be doing a combo where it'll do 2 hits. Like, I'll block the first hit, and then for the second hit, I want to do perfect charge counter, but I can't get it because I'm still in guard reaction state. And this is probably the thing that gets me the hit. It gets me hit the most often. So yeah, I think you would just need to do something else to get out of the guard reaction state. Cat, you need to wake up so I can talk to the audience here. Yeah, so you just need to do something else to activate perfect charge counter without accidentally activating payback thrust. I don't know of a good way to fix that because, yeah, a lot of times when people are trying to do the guard reactions, they're still holding down the guard button. So I was thinking, like, what if you get guard reactions out of releasing guard and then pressing one of your buttons, but that might cause like a backwards issue where people have to unlearn some of their habits from using the controller. But yeah, this is a problem. Like it definitely needs to be fixed, like somehow. Okay, something else that's bothering me about Lance is I find that it is actually having a lot of trouble closing distance. So we already talked about, leaping thrust having problems. Yeah, the guard dash is fairly shallow, and then leaping thrust is very slow. It's fairly shallow. It does have good reach, but the amount of space you cover, like just pay attention to the spacing, like on your character's feet. It just does not cover a lot of space. Like it doesn't allow you to close a lot of distance. So yeah, that was primarily one of my tools I used to close distance, and it just doesn't work very well anymore. It's fairly unsafe because of how slow leaping thrust is. And then also the dash attack is very slow, and it also does almost no damage. Even the finishing thrust does such low damage now compared to a lot of your other things. It's like I spent all this investment, like closing distance, using the stamina, and then I maybe get 2 very small hits off of it. It just doesn't feel very worth it. So I think dash attack definitely needs to be buffed. They need to increase the running speed. They need to increase the damage. And maybe Lance also needs some other type of distance closing tool. A lot of other weapons, they'll have moves where they can just jump forward and do a leaping attack. So basically it'll look something like this, but 1,000 times faster and 1,000 times more damage. So yeah, I think Lance could use something to help it close distance, like a little bit better. But yeah, that one's not great. Oh boy. Yeah, I almost feel like you'd have an easier time closing distance if you just turned around, which this is something we actually used to do in the old games. You'd close distance better if you just turned around and just did back hops or did your reverse combo like this. I might actually start doing that now. It's so much faster. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can even do one of those. Yeah, let me... Yeah, this is how fast you can close distance. Let's pretend we're trying to get to something at the camera, but... Yeah, look how much faster that is than anything else you have. So, yeah, I might just start doing this instead. That is so much faster than all my other options. That is so silly. The only problem is, of course, you're facing the wrong direction. So, you're going to have to figure out how to... Yeah, you can just press focus mode to spin yourself around instantly. So, yeah, I just might start doing that to close distance instead. But yeah, I would like something more... Yeah, that would let me be more aggressive with controlling distance. Okay, as it is, Lance does not have a lot of really great anti-air options. The upstab, they decided to do some odd stuff to differentiate it. It's like a bit slower now. It does do more damage. But yeah, it actually just does not have a lot of vertical reach. And then... It's timed that. And then the, I guess the payback thrust is technically the thing that has the most vertical reach, but I just don't have access to payback thrust very often. Yeah, in theory, you could just use focus mode to aim up, but the Lance just doesn't, it just doesn't attack where you have your cursor, like, pointed. So, so yeah, that's another option we have, like, what if the Lance just poked right where you pointed it? But yeah, that's just like a way to add that. We had a lot of anti-air options back in Sunbreak. Like you had Twin Vine, which nobody used. It had a lot of distance controlling utility, but just the Lance's aerial attack just was not worth the effort. Like, yeah, that just did no damage. And then there was aerial thrust, the one where you use the wire bug to like just leap directly up and then down, stab the Lancer to the ground. That one did a lot of damage. Yeah, people would spam it a lot, depending on the matchup. But yeah, I just didn't quite like it because it had a very long recovery. And then I just don't like attacks where you just spam the same thing over and over. That's kind of lame to me. But yeah, aerial thrust, it did have a lot of utility, so having something similar like it would be good. They could also just make the jump more responsive. Yeah, I have a lot of times where I'm trying to do the jump so I can do an aerial attack to mount a monster to stop it from running away. But there's a lot of moves where, yeah, you do the move and you just can't cancel immediately into the jump. So I would like a way to immediately cancel into the jump. That would be very useful. Actually, let me check something. Yeah, you can kind of do that. Yeah, maybe they can have it so that when you're guarding and you do a forward dash, it's always a jump. I don't know how many of you like need to do that cancel, but yeah, having more immediate access to a jump would be very, very good. So here's something that mostly just affects speedrunners. Lance already has a fairly good offensive toolkit. Of course, the damage isn't super high, but a lot of the damage you're going to get from Lance comes from the counters. So that means if the monster's down, you just do your regular combo with the finisher, and it's like the damage is all right, but yeah, Lance needs access to some type of burst damage, like outside of counters, so that you can actually hit something that's down. So I have some suggestions. Maybe you can allow charge sweeps again, like maybe. Like, having them be meta damage would be very annoying, but, yeah, because that was very annoying in Monster Hunter Rise. You can do charge sweeps. Personally, I would enjoy a charge thrust. And here's something you can do. Yeah, so guard poke is almost completely useless in this game. It is unusually fast, so that's cool. But how about this? Like, what if you hold down guard and thrust? What if it did a different attack if you held it down? Like, it could do something like multi-stab or like million stabs. If you guys know that move from Devil May Cry, yeah, have it do million stabs and consume stamina, and then when you, yeah, and it does more damage like as you go, as you consume more stamina. And then when you finally release the button, it does like one final hit, like very high damage. I think that would, yeah, that would be, you know, give us something more interesting to do rather than just guard poke. Yeah, guard poke's lame, nobody uses it. Yeah, so that'll give it more utility. And then if you have it like start low damage, and then, yeah, if you do million stabs, yeah, start it off with low damage, but as you use meter, like it gets more damage like over time, so that way you can't use it all the time. You're supposed to use it on very long openings or when the monster is down. I think that would be a very, very good move to add. Okay, the focus mode. I forgot to talk about the focus mode at all. Yeah, victory thrust is fine, I guess. They've done some patching to it where it's fairly good at connecting. So yeah, that's all fine now. So yeah, I don't have too many qualms about it. The mid-thrust ability to reposition, like during focus mode, is fantastic. I love this change. It's so good. They need to add the repositioning ability to the combo finishers as well. Unfortunately, this step thrust thing, like it only exists for mid thrust. It doesn't work for high thrust. What happens with high thrust is if you're in focus mode and you press the left stick, what it does is it changes the direction you're facing, which this is not useful. It's actually detrimental. Like, this throws your aim off. I would recommend, yeah, having high thrust do the step also. Like, this whole camera turning thing is incredibly unnecessary. I can already control my camera with the right stick. So yeah, just take this off of high thrust. Yeah, give us a step instead. Alright, here's something I hate talking about, but Lance is incredibly awful around ledges. Basically, if there's a ledge, you are committing suicide. Yeah, Lances are not safe around ledges at all. This is incredibly awful. And it's been like this for like, what, since Monster Hunter 4? How many games is that? And Capcom just still hasn't fixed it, so yeah, I don't know what they're up to. Yeah, like other weapons, when they see a ledge, it's like Christmas. Like for them, it's like, oh my god, I'm about to do so much damage. But for me, I'm like, monster, get away from that ledge, please. I can't follow you over there. So yeah, I have no earthly idea what they would do. Yeah, maybe just find a way to make this safer, or just have it not interrupt your stuff. Yeah, and then ledges, they just completely block my combo. Yeah, that's not great. What the heck? That was a downslope? And then, yeah, also this. Yeah, the lance charge bouncing off of walls, like, I get it, it makes sense, but does any other weapon in the game actually get punished by walls? Or is it just Lance? Like, why are you punishing me for this? It's not my fault the monster AI is so stupid, it just wedges itself against the wall. Don't punish me for the monster's positioning. That's just so unfair. Okay, and speaking of lance charge, yeah, a lot of times I'm trying to chase a monster, like downhill, and this slide is incredibly awful. The slide and the slope interaction for Lance is so bad. Like, look, I'm actually getting slower when I'm going downhill. How is that even possible? Yeah, so change this to, like, either not activate at all, or have the Lance player not slide. Have them keep their footing so they can run, like, increase the speed. Why does this slow down on a slope? That is the opposite of video game logic. You're punishing me for the things that help every other weapon. That is so backwards. Yeah, and then also, look at this. I was mashing X to cancel out of the slide, cancel out of charge the whole time. It did not stop. It just did not stop when you're going down. You can't stop it. That's horrible. Like, I'm mashing X. Yeah, it doesn't stop. You can't cancel out of it until you're off the hill. And then you can also guard cancel your charge normally. But on a slope, it takes 5 hours to come to a stop when you guard cancel. I'm mashing triangle. Do you see how long that recovery is? That is incredibly awful. Why are you punishing me so bad for being on a hill? That is so evil, Capcom. I don't know why you would treat me this way. Yeah, please fix this. Can you dash cancel out of it? You can't dash cancel out of the guard. Oh my god. That's so bad. Here's something about Lance. The sharpness management is not good, like, on Lance. For some reason, it's got to be one of the most sharpness-hungry weapons in the entire game. It even consumes more sharpness than Gun Lance now, which feels very weird. So yeah, Lance needs something. I am not a fan of passive buffs to weapon, where like just give all the lances long sharpness bars. I mean, that would work, but it'd be really boring. Or if you just gave them all innate razor sharp 3, like that would work, but it'd be really boring. Personally, I would add mechanics into the actual moveset of Lance that recovers sharpness. So that way you use sharpness fast and you recover sharpness fast in a way that rewards gameplay and not just builds. Yeah, I find that building for sharpness is not quite as fun as playing for sharpness. So of course everybody's going to say, oh, you can just sharpen with your weapon out with this. Like, man, I don't want to do that. That's not fun. That's not badass, you know? Like, I want to be able to recover sharpness with my moveset. So that's why I really loved using Blade Scalhone in Sunbreak. I actually used it in my endgame builds. Wow, actually iframed that. That's weird. Yeah, I don't have Blade Scalhone on this Lance. It's weapon specific now, so that's unfortunate. So yeah, add stuff to Lance's moveset that recovers sharpness. Give it innate Blade Scalhone. You might need to give it some longer iframes, like innately to its step. Yeah, Lance is already the defense weapon, so just super buff its defense. Yeah, just give me innate evade 3 plus Blade Scalhone. Yeah, Blade Scalhone behaves weird in this game. And like, it doesn't quote-unquote recover sharpness. It gives you a special sharpness meter, which I don't think I like. Yeah, just change it back to how it was in the previous game. That was a lot better. So yeah, give Lance innate Blade Scalhone, or you could give payback thrust, sharpness recovery when it connects. And then how about you do sharpness recovery on perfect guard, because the adept block used to be so incredibly awesome and fun to do, but perfect guard in this game just feels really mushy and meh. There really isn't a lot of reason or reward for using it, because it's just innately worse than power guard, and it's also worse than perfect charge counter. So you're always going to want to use those two instead. So yeah, if perfect guard actually recovered sharpness, that would give us a lot more reason to use it. Like, wouldn't that be really cool? Yeah, so I would add those 3 methods to recover sharpness for Lance. Maybe just one of them would work, but just add all 3. Why not? So yeah, that's how I would deal with sharpness management on Lance. That would be much more fun. Okay, and something that's always been a problem with Lance is that its skill investment has always been very high. For instance, I need to use offensive guard, or else my damage is just lacking compared to the other weapons. So yeah, that's not really fair. Like, just have offensive guard innate to the weapon, and have it like not stack with the skill that you can slot in. Yeah, offensive guard and just general guard skills, like I should not have to build for this, because look at me. I can't even run with my weapon out, really. Like, I have to walk around like this, and my shield is bigger than my body. Like, just, why do I have to build for defense when I'm already the defensive weapon? Just have these skills innate to Lance. Like, it's so expensive to build for. Like, I would like to build for damage, but I can't, because Lance just it just needs all of these armor skills to basically have access to all of its moveset. Like, without Guard 3, like, a lot of your defensive options just aren't viable, especially with all these Arch-Tempered monsters coming out and all that crazy crap. So yeah, give us innate Guard 3, give us innate Evade 3. I would dare say Evade 5, but that might be too generous. Give us innate Offensive Guard. Yeah, like, those skills should be for weapons that are more offensive and they want to worry about defense. Or like, hey, here's a great sword, he suddenly wants to block a strong attack for some reason. But for Lance, just, yeah, let us have it innately. And I know some of you are going to say, like, oh, just use perfect charge counter. Like, guard doesn't matter on that. Guard actually does affect that. I believe it changes the animation speed. So yeah, just give Lance, like, perfect access to all of its guard options, like, please. Yeah, just build an offensive guard. Lance also is so sharpness hungry that I basically use razor sharp 100% of the time if I have the space for it. Yeah, that's also, and like I could be using like crit boost instead, but no, I'm too busy trying to manage sharpness. So yeah, like yeah, give Lance something. Like give it moveset to recover sharpness instead of having to build for it like this. Yeah, doing passive builds just is not very fun. Yeah, and then yeah, once we just do not have that extremely high skill cost to using Lance, that will give us like more ability to build for offense or just make builds that are more interesting. Like if I didn't have to build for offensive guard on this laggy Lance, I would actually want to build it for crit element, because this Lance is so good at element, and like Laggy's armor sets, you know, it has a special skill that raises affinity. What if I could fit crit element on here? That would have a lot of synergy, but I can't do that because I have to use offensive guard just to keep up my raw damage. Just doing this for Lance would just open up the builds so much. Okay, and then one of the main things that affects how fun a weapon feels in a game is the matchups it has against the monsters in the game. And Lance, it has a fairly good time. Most of the monsters are pretty meh. Like, it has some great matchups, like Laggy and Steve. Yeah, those are very fun. Arkveld's okay. A lot of the hitboxes are really wiggly and not well defined in this game. Also, the Lance attack hitboxes are very generous and I gotta say kind of ill-defined. Yeah, so there's a lot of times where like I'm trying to stab a monster in its face and for some reason the attack is landing on its wing, like way the heck over here. So yeah, that's gonna affect the matchups a bit. There are a lot of monsters with movesets or attacks where just my counters just aren't effective because like it just doesn't work on multi-hit. Yeah, so that's a problem. Or they're doing stuff that, yeah, I need to close distance, but I can't close distance very well. Oh yeah, like we need ability to close distance after guard, because right now people are doing this really weird shit where they're doing like reverse power guard. I can kind of demonstrate it here. In the demo, we had access to follow-up charge right out of a guard reaction or a perfect guard, which was fantastic. But now we don't have that anymore. Yeah, so people are doing some really weird stuff to close distance. He missed me. Yeah, so that's a reverse retribution thrust. Yeah, buttons are a little funny on it. But yeah, you have to turn off focus mode, activate power guard. Yeah, and then your retribution thrust will do that back hop. And then right after the back hop, you press focus mode to turn yourself around. So yeah, it's basically... yeah, a distance closing tool. Which, it's cool you have like really weird tech you can do, but why do I have to go through so much trouble? like to do that. That's really goofy. So yeah, like we need other just different kinds of distance closing powers. Yeah, having to do backwards shit is kind of goofy. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about chicken. Here, come here, chicken. Chicken, you missed me. There you go. Yeah, so let's talk about this. So I'm really happy that Lance Jousting is back. Which, you know, that's really cool. The problem with Lance Jousting is it is incredibly difficult to control the speed of this. It does... Yeah, a lot of times I'm either running too slow or too fast. It's never just right. Yeah, give us more powers for controlling speed. Like on Jousting, that would make it 1,000 times more useful. What is going on with my chicken? He's freaking out. Yeah, so the last thing we can talk about is chip damage. Which, yeah, chip damage makes sense. And, like, this isn't something that's bothered me too much because we have access to perfect charge counter now. And this guarantees no chip damage, but a lot of times I'm going to use Power Guard, you know, and Power Guard actually has increased chip damage compared to other types of guard. So, yeah, wouldn't it be nice if Lance had an ability to recover chip damage? Like, how about chip damage is always red health, so I can regenerate it later? Or how about if I activate Power Guard? Yeah, how about if I connect an attack out of Power Guard, that next attack recovers HP? Like, it doesn't even have to be a lot. Like, it just, even if it was just 10% of my total health, I would take that. And yeah, that would be like, yeah, I'm taking the risk. I am taking chip damage from Power Guard, but if I use it successfully, the counter, I get to recover HP. Yeah, I think that would be a fun way to handle that. Of course, you could just do health recovery augment, like World and Iceborne had. I really miss that. But yeah, you don't have that. There are armor sets in this game that will recover HP in different ways. Like, I guess you have Archvel that will recover HP on damaging wounds, and then there's Zoshia, which I guess, yeah, he very slowly recovers HP. But yeah, just having to use parts from like very old builds or very old armors is very unpleasant. Just kind of doing mix sets in this game, it's just not fun, like, overall. But yeah, how about you give us access to those armor set bonuses as gems? Like, make them rare. Like, that way, like, you kind of kill two birds with one stone. Like, A, you open up build diversity, and then B, you give us more stuff to grind for. So yeah, I would really like that. Like, yeah, give us more access to health recovery. Of course, people are gonna say, "Oh, just sheath your weapon and heal," or, you know, call your chicken, like, to recover and heal on chicken, that type of stuff. Like, I don't know. That feels like you're quitting. Like, you know, it doesn't feel like you're rewarding gameplay, like, from that. So yeah, if you're gonna make Lance risk its HP with Power Guard, yeah, like, if I'm gonna be able to sacrifice HP, give me mechanics to recover my HP. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on Lance for now. It's got a lot going on. I feel like the changes in Wilds are very good. They're all really good ideas. There's just a lot of trouble spots here and there that could use a lot of improvement. And I think, yeah, even implementing some of the ideas like that we discussed here would improve the Lance by a lot. I'm trying very hard not to make a pun right now. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts for now. Yeah, if you guys have any ideas or just want to discuss anything about anything I presented here today, just leave a comment in the video. I do not use social media, so if you guys think that these ideas were good, send this video to Capcom. Yeah, shoot it like over to them on X or whatever other platforms they happen to be on. I really don't think that's gonna get across to them to have these changes ready in time for the August patch. It's probably already done, but yeah, having these changes would help the Lance immensely. But yeah, guys, I think that's gonna be it for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and yeah, we'll see you next time.